In the previous video, we have covered Section A, definitions of employee, aggrieved woman, and employer. Now we will move on to Section B, roles and responsibilities of the employer in the prevention and redressal of sexual harassment at workplace. Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act 2013. Definitions, roles and responsibilities of key stakeholders. Section B. Roles and responsibilities of the employer in the prevention and redressal of sexual harassment at workplace. The Act clearly mandates in Section 19 that the primary responsibility for the prevention of sexual harassment at the workplace lies with the employer. The duties of the employer include providing a safe working environment, including safety from a third party, that is, outsiders coming into the workplace. Prominently display penal consequences of sexual harassment. Display information about the complaints committee. Organize workshops and awareness programs at regular intervals for sensitizing the employees within the provisions of the Act. Organize orientation programs for the Internal Complaints Committee to handle cases of sexual harassment. Provide all necessary facilities and required information to the Complaints Committee for dealing and investigating a complaint. Provide assistance in securing attendance of respondent and witnesses before the committee. Provide assistance to the woman if she wants to file a complaint in relation to the offence under the Indian Penal Code. Monitor the timely submission of reports by the Complaints Committee and forward the same to the district officer. Where the employer fails to constitute an internal complaints committee, take action as recommended by the Complaints Committee in proven cases and in false accusations. Report the number of cases filed in the annual report and/or, where required, to the district officer, or comply with any other provision of the Act. Then they shall be punished in accordance with the Act. Repeat offenders shall have more severe fines, cancellation or non-renewal of license or registration for carrying out business activity. For more information, refer to Section 26 of the SHW Act. Other suggested actions that the employer can adopt include, but are not limited to, demonstrating a strong commitment to prevent and address sexual harassment by developing and adopting an anti-sexual harassment policy. Some companies have even taken the step of adopting a zero-tolerance approach towards sexual harassment, clearly indicating this is a non-negotiable issue. Promoting a safe working environment in member companies by providing legal advice on law compliance. Sharing the company's anti-sexual harassment policy. Sharing best practices for the prevention of sexual harassment through forums or newsletters. As one of the largest employers of women in India today, specific guidelines have been established for the appropriate government authorities under the Act in sections 23 and 24. In addition to the previously mentioned guidelines established for employers, government offices are also responsible for the following: advancement of public awareness and understanding of the Act's provisions, developing relevant information, education, communication, IEC, and training materials and awareness programs that advance the public's understanding of the provisions of the Act. Make rules for carrying out the provisions of the Act by notification of the same in the official gazette. Lay the rules made by them under this Act before each House of Parliament while it is in session. Formulate orientation and training programs for members of the Local Complaints Committee. Monitor the implementation of the Act and initiate necessary actions to ensure that all workers are protected from sexual harassment. Maintain data on the number of cases of sexual harassment filed and disposed of. You have now completed section A and B.